Grand rising, everyone. Hope you guys are okay. I hope everything is going as planned. This is Denzomus, and you are welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking campus free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality. I talk about personal and self-development. And if that's what resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share this video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. The title of this video is going to be The Narcissist is Not Doing Okay. And I've got a reason as to why I'm talking about this. This is going to be in so many settings. This is going to be in a setting where that narcissist has been your boss. There's been something that happened and you might probably have walked away from that particular individual. Maybe you've probably walked away from the job. You may start hearing things like the boss has been sacked, okay? Maybe that was a general manager, maybe that was a supervisor in that place, that was the narcissist. I can promise you, ladies and gentlemen, there is things that they will not tell you because they will hide these things from you. But you may be lucky to get the information on the news, and you will hear that there is something has happened, the supervisor has been sacked, probably they are sitting at home, jobless, they are struggling with bills and stuff like that. Or it may be your boss who has actually been, maybe probably they have lost their company, okay? Now, it may also be in a setting where that narcissist may be your parent. You could be, for example, the black sheep of the family. And there's something has happened and you have gone through this awakening. What you did now was walk away from abuse because you figured out the BS. You're not going to participate in that BS. You have walked away from the family setting, the family matrix. In most case scenarios, you may be lucky, although most of the times a lot of people don't hear about this. But some of you may be lucky and you may start hearing stories like your father is in hospital, okay? Your father has got dementia. Your father has got Alzheimer. Your father has got a cancer, or your mother has got a cancer. You may start hearing some of those things that are happening to that narcissist, okay? Now, this is not a coincidence when these kind of things are happening. And again, like I've said, it can be any setting. But for me, it has also been in a relationship setting as well, as a family setting. When the narcissist abandons you, they are running off to greener pastures. But it may not always happen that the places that they run are going to be as green as they thought it would be. So there may be sometimes cases where they may run off and they are simply going to jump out of the frying pan into the fire. There may be sometimes cases where a narcissist could abandon you or discard you, and before they know it, they have run off and they have met another narcissist who is even worse than themselves. It is going to be fire, okay? They will blow up each other. They will love bomb each other, of course, because that's what they do. But eventually, they are going to start blowing up each other. It can also be happening in a case whereby you have been the only caretaker of that particular narcissist. You was with them, you would nurse them, you would treat them, you would bandage their wounds, you would feed them. And then eventually, you could have figured out that you've been dealing with abuse. You have actually walked away from that situation. Now there's nobody to bandage their wounds. There's nobody to give them their medicine. There's nobody to feed them. It is not well with a narcissist. They're not doing okay, okay? Many victims have reported cases where they have walked away from these energy vampires. And you see one thing what I've told you about the empath. You see, one of the most powerful things with empaths, an empath is a person that has got a very beautiful energy, okay? The energy of love. They will give, they will nurture you, they will nurse your wounds, they will provide for you if they can. But you see, the moment you abuse that level of respect, that level of energy, and you cause that person to walk away from you, I can promise you there is things that are going to happen to those narcissists that you cannot even process in your mind. When the supply is gone, like I've said, it is natural for a narcissist, very common for a narcissist, that they're going to run off and find somewhere else an alternative source of supply. Even in family settings, you might have been a black sheep and you walked away, and they're going to scramble around because they need a new scapegoat in that unit. But most of the times, it is not going to be the same amount of supply that they will usually get, or sometimes they may not even get any supply at all. In my own situation, I recognize that they try to recruit new scapegoats in the unit. But every scapegoat that they try to recruit in the unit, that scapegoat ended up running away because there was a lot of things that they started handling and they was not ready for these things. So many of them, they walked away, which means that the unit is still going to have that gaping hole, and they're not going to be able to have that same supply that used to provide as a scapegoat of the family. Now they have all this BS that they want to dump somewhere, and they do not have a trash can at the time. Is when you start to hear a lot of chaos happening in the unit. Sometimes you'll see the narcissist father, because the narcissist parent, they are struggling. They really need that supply. They really need the scapegoat in the unit. But the scapegoat is gone, and there's no way they can find a way to replace the scapegoat that has left. Now they are going around running and trying to point out who is going to be the next scapegoat. None of them is used to that BS. Many of them will refuse to take that role, to play that role or position, and some of them are going to walk away. That is when the narcissist is going to have a very huge deficit of supply. It is exactly what causes that narcissist to start breaking down. They are going to break down, their health is going to crumble, because remember, for a narcissist to survive, they have got to release that negative energy onto somebody else. But should there be a case whereby there is no place to release that energy is going to accumulate inside of them, and it is going to cause system failure. You may not be surprised when somebody reports to you or they tell you that your father had a cardiac arrest, they had a heart attack, they had cancers, they had problems with their guts, they had problems with this. Now all these things are going to start accumulating inside of the narcissist, because I've told you, these individuals are energy vampires. They, at every cost, need somewhere they can dump that energy. If they are not able to dump that energy onto somebody else or somewhere else, that energy is going to accumulate inside of them, and is going to start eating up on them. Even if you try to look at it in a spiritual perspective, you'll also understand the narcissist has got a very huge demonic influence inside of them. These spirits, whatever spirit or spirits that are inside of the narcissist, when they do not have a victim outside of there, they are going to turn to the narcissist, and they're going to start eating and feeding on the narcissist themselves. That is when you see their health will start to deteriorate. You may sometimes have left a narcissist, for example, it has just been 2 or 3 weeks ago, only for you to see them, they're looking like zombies. This is why I did a video before and I told you the narcissist is decomposing. That is, in fact, in reality, that particular narcissist is decomposing, okay? Their health is falling apart. You may see them, it was a very nice young man, you have run away, you have moved away, and all of a sudden, they look like very old people. They look like grandpas and grandmas. You just don't know what happened, you're just figuring out it has just been 2 or 3 weeks ago. And you're wondering what happened. Is it because you left? Is it because you walked away? The answer is yes. It is because you walked away from disrespect. Now these particular individuals, they have got to struggle, and they have got to digest their own energy. So in all settings that we can talk about when we're dealing with narcissistic abuse, you had best believe the only thing you can ever do is to walk away. Is what I've told you guys many times in my videos. The only thing you'll ever do for yourself is to walk away from disrespect. Let the universe do the rest. The news are going to reach you. It doesn't matter how far you are. You may be in a different country. You may be miles away from the vicinity. The news is going to reach you. Unless the only way a narcissist will continue to survive the same way they have always done with you is when they have been able to replace you with an equivalent source of supply, okay? They can be able to provide that same supply that they could get from you. Now, in that case, they may thrive even sometimes for a little bit. But I can promise you, not all cases, like I've said, they're running off and they're meeting and they're finding greener pastures. It is not always as green as they thought it could be. Is why sometimes you hear us telling you things like, they thought the grass was greener, okay? They thought it was going to be business as usual, okay? They were just going to be doing the same thing that they've always done, but this time they are meeting somebody who doesn't have that same supply that you used to do. Now, they are in deficit, okay? They have got a very huge deficit in energy. They do not know what to do with themselves. You may sometimes start to hear them. They are no longer going to work. Maybe the time you was with them, they had a job. You're going to hear about things like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They have been sacked from their jobs, or even sometimes they do not have that energy to go to work because they have lost you as a source of supply. You was the one that was motivating them to go to work. You was the one who motivated them to do better. But this moment in time, you are realizing it is time now to do better for yourself, okay? To remove yourself from that situation so that you can go out there and heal and take better care of yourself. You have left an energy vampire behind. They are going through it all. I can promise you, ladies and gentlemen, you'll hear the stories. For many of you guys have been talking about karma. Do these guys ever get karma? Do they ever pay for whatever they have done? Are they ever able to face the consequences of their actions? I can promise you, ladies and gentlemen, from experience, the answer is yes. You will see it. I'm not hoping that you will see it because there are some sites that you're not ready to see because they are very horrible sites to look at. You will see it if you can. If you cannot see it, you'll hear about it. But there's one thing that I can promise you guys in this video. It is not okay with a narcissist. And most of the times when these things are happening, they don't want to let you know. They don't want you to see this. It is going to be a secret. They are going to keep it as their little secret. They will not let you know. But I can tell you this with experience, from experience. There is things that are happening. Okay? Because you see, the reason why they hide these things from you, whatever is going on in their lives, is because it's going to bring back shame. It's going to bring back shame inside of their minds. They are going to be like, okay, they're now starting to feel ashamed of their actions and the things they did when you gave them a chance, when they was around you. But this point in time, whatever is going on, they're keeping it a secret. So if, say, for example, they end up in hospital, I could say, you're going to see cases where they're going to tell everybody in that hospital, do not tell so-and-so. Do not tell them what is going on because they don't want you to know. They want to deal with this on their own in a way that they can, but they don't want that information to reach you because it is going to bring back shame within them. And at the end of the day, they are going to be accountable for the actions that they took and the way they behaved when they was with you. So guys, best believe it is not okay with that narcissist that you left behind. So let us know what you think about the video, guys, in the comment section below. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I will catch you guys in my next one. Desmos signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.